Greetings, everyone. Thank you, Aarti ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to speak over this topic, integrating SDG 3 based classroom activities for primary and elementary grades. As Rosa ma'am has wonderfully highlighted all the objectives of this SDG 3, where good health and well-being is the main pivot point to be talked around. Now, the next challenge comes that how to achieve these goals. And this can be the very, very important aspect as our educators are there, that we need to take this into our young students, young children, those who are there. So before we take a deep dive into the creative and the practical ways by which we can incorporate these activities, this agenda of good health and well-being through our activities, it's very important to have an understanding the need of teaching these life skills at such an early age. As educators and as an advocate to our students, we play a key role in not only about what they know, but also about how they grow. So empowering these young children or these young minds over the nutrition, over different aspects of being healthy and emotionally, physically, and mentally is a very, very important agenda and task for all of us. So to have this understanding, after having this understanding, let's have an idea about how to incorporate this into our day-to-day classrooms. We take these activities in our junior classes, in our weekend, have it in our primary classes, and even also above that. In short, I have just made this table before you and taken under certain categories which has to be focused on to teach our students about the various aspects of health and how to keep themselves healthy. So the very first aspect that we take is about healthy habits, whether it is diet, all about having water, hydration, exercise, sleep. How can we teach, whether it is a child of age 3 to 5 years or maybe of 10 years or even beyond that, how to teach our students about these healthy habits? Early is the better. Right. So the few activities I have named here are about healthy habit diary and or habit trackers. See, I should say that not only young kids, even for the adults, it's one of the very, very nice practice to track the daily habits they have. So how much sleep do they take? Do they really take the proper diet or the nutrition or not? How much screen time, which becomes very, very challenging in today's generation, are the such things what they can make or track on. By tracking, what do we really mean by this? By tracking is only that we are making our children take the accountability of what they are doing. The moment they become accountable, they take the responsibility of their understanding, they themselves will be knowing about what is to be done or not. So whether it is, if we are trying to integrate it through any subject, so English or Hindi, any subject can be used to make them note down these diaries, or there are certain already the beforehand formats of habit trackers that are there. The young students, if they cannot write, they can put only a tick mark, how many times they do, or they should be doing it, or they should not be doing it. As in my own personal experience, I have seen that in grade 1 or 2, these habit trackers of just putting ticks has come out to be a very, very it has been very, very effective in young learners to know about it. Even the young kids love to draw things. So if you ask them that what are your healthy habits, you should be doing this or you shouldn't be doing this become very, very monotonous, and they don't enjoy that. But if you transform this teaching into creating a healthy habit superhero, and now ask them that what their superhero is doing, in that case, those children start loving and simultaneously learning all about the habits they must inculcate in them. So depending upon the classes you have been taking these activities, you can increase the complexity of your plan, what you have done, or your activity. That's all up to you. You can bring the changes as per the need. One very important term that should be introduced into today's generation, which is like Gen Zs are there now, even the beta child has been born. So it is digital detox challenge. So talking about digital detox challenge is all about to ask a child to track his screen time. If you are going to ask children that it or scold the children over the time they should not be over the time they have been using more screen, or you will be scolding them for not doing it, I think we as educators or as parents know that this doesn't work out. So what we need to do is that we can incorporate these things into in any form of the project or activity where they themselves realize that it is very bad for them to have excessive exposure to their mobiles, their laptops, or even television. So if we are doing all this, if we are talking all this in a classroom, then definitely students understand and once again take the responsibility of their own, howsoever the young child is. Sooner or later, every child understands. The next category, what we have been talking is very important, is promoting personal hygiene. Whether it is a simple hand wash or a dental care or body care, all these kind of hygiene practices has to be like instilled in these young students. See, anything that is learned in the early ages becomes a lifelong habit. Right. So science of hygiene, and it is not merely talking about the science of hygiene, but this can only be inculcated through the hand-on activities. So if you are talking about hygiene, you may move over to the storytelling. That storytelling, like I'll just give you one example, that if you're talking about the dental care and dental hygiene, rather if you talk about the story of adventures of Timmy the Tooth, they really enjoy and then they remember that how they need to take care of their teeth. So there are many things what are there, like hygiene carrots are there, a fun activity where you do not need much preparation because teachers usually look for certain things that are easily available for them to do it. And this is how we can be making our students understand the importance of hygiene. This is not only for the individual's hygiene, it is also about the community that is there. Community can be grown up. The next come is the mental and the emotional well-being. This is one of the very important aspect where United Nations also lays stress on, that it is not only physical, it is not only all about social health. This is also about the mental and emotional health, a topic which is less thought about. Everyone understand as the conventional methods of teaching, yoga, meditation, mindfulness activities that are already a part of our curriculum. Only thing is we need to be taking it on a more aggressive level. Talking to our students about the gratitude, generating positivity in our students through bright spot activities where they will be talking only about good things they have been doing in the day rather than thinking about what they do not have, will definitely have a shift of their move from the negative aspects to the all positive learnings. We can also check about their mood through good emojis, where our young students or the young children are not able to speak or even communicate to us how do they feel about. This will also help us to build a supportive classroom community. We cannot deny the fact that disease prevention is one such where we need to be laying stress in teaching our kids. So whether it is cough and sneeze etiquettes, rather than teaching how to do it, can we just do it with a small thing that catch a germ with a funky dance move, and that they are really going to love, that they are not supposed to touch their hands when they are sneezing. That is the next aspect. So there are many things by which these activities can be used to incorporate make our learners learn through integrated different subjects, whether it is science, maths, arts, languages, Hindi and English, any language, or social studies. We can be using these activities and make our students learn. To conclude with, I just want to say that teaching SDGs to our students through activities is not merely about imparting knowledge. It's all about shaping their attitudes, building awareness, and fostering a sense of responsibility. So we should be
Wonderfully said,
taking.
ma'am. Thank you so much, Shilpi ma'am, for sharing so many activities. All the activities were available on the screen, so you can implement such tables in your classrooms as well. There were lot many activities which were popping on the screen, so you can take a chance and incorporate in your curriculum or in your learning system. Now, a very important part of this session, that is an open question for all the viewers. What do you think? how we may integrate SDG 3 in higher grades. The chat box is open for you all. You can give your opinion in the chat box. Before we proceed further, we support this link as well, so you can check the description box. And thank you so much for watching. You can share all your queries at abcteaching875@gmail.com. You can check all the important links in the description box. You can check the certificate generation link, which is active only for 24 hours in description box. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much for supporting SDGs. Bye bye and take care.